Oh, that reminds me, skymirrorastrology.com, and get your $5 app for your iPhone and just start playing with it. It's a good way to learn it. And at skymirrorastrology.com /TV, you can get all these shows. You can get them through the first one too. You can look at the whole show. You can track all this crazy month of April that we have been tracking and learn from it, I'm sure. Well, what's coming up for you in the next week, huh? I got a chart, and you can immediately see I've exaggerated Mars. Why is that? Well, it's because Mars stops in the sky on May 20th at 9 degrees of Libra. So we got about 20 days as you lead up to May 20th, and about 20 days thereafter it tails down. It's like a normal distribution curve, bell-shaped curve. So what's going to happen? Well, you get more and more Martian. What's Mars? That's Mars' coup. He's originally the cross of matter over the circle of spirit, just the opposite of Venus. And he's supposed to take care of the physical things. So he's Ku, the cutter of canoes, protector of the forest and the trees. You know, the Greeks, said he was the agricultural god, protected the olive groves and the gardens and the herds of sheep from the wolves. And, I see him as the fireman and the guy who fixes your roof and the hero EMTs on the road. And, when he doesn't know what to protect, however, well, he turns into the god of war. And they changed him, this age of Pisces, and put a spear on him here. Some say it's an erect penis because he's a randy little character. This is Aries, okay? Mars rules Aries. So this is the ram. He butts his head against the other ram. Well, anyway, Mars is come backwards to stop at 9 degrees, and he's going to get really strong. And you're either going to be a hero, or you could get overly angry. Now, if your interior Mars is getting angry, it's because he doesn't know what to protect. His job is to do physical things to protect. Ask yourself what you're protecting. What am I protecting? What am I protecting? What am I protecting? When it gets clear, the anger will go away, the impatience, the irritation, and there'll be a physical thing to do. Just take this and move this, or do that, okay? That's the lesson of Mars, to use him constructively. He is, after all, the lesser malefic. Saturn's the great malefic in old astrology. Mars is the lesser. So sometimes there's blood, sometimes there's fighting. Venus is lined up against him the first part of your week. Venus is here. She's in Aries. She's at 7, so in the next few days she's going to oppose Mars. And Romeo and Juliet will fight a little bit. The other thing that's going on here is that you've got the Sun at 18 Taurus. It opposes Saturn at 20, so in a couple of days, the weekend, your Monday, the Sun opposing Saturn, you're not going to like government, you're not going to like the institutions. So Stokely Carmichael said, it's the institutions. How can the AMA and the FDA and all of these people say sugar, sugar? Nobody ever looked why sugar makes kids antisocial. They never looked at why pot, help prevents cancer. They never looked at, never mind. It's the institutions, huh? Yeah, I'm going to put my finger right on the Big Hope generation. Those guys in MGM, the movie star people, and I don't like them. Anyway, enough of that. Sociology, it's called, huh? So the Sun opposing Saturn, judge not lest you be judged. You're not going to like the guys in the suits and the ties. Mars stopping, increasing anger, maybe some fighting. Also we have Mercury here squaring Neptune. Neptune's real strong. Since we had that new moon that took us out of the horrid month of April and all of the Uranian earthquake, tornado stuff, that new moon was at 9 Taurus. and here it's sextile Neptune. So it brought the priest artist doctor back on board, and a sense of quietness and even joy can result with the right music, huh? And so kind of a nice month for art and music and things, the month of May. And trouble is, here's Mercury, and Mercury is going to blunder into this square with Mars and get confused. And he does that, and basically around the 12th and the 13th of May, the moon sets it off on the 15th. And people will say all sorts of things. There could be all kinds of lies. I keep getting a picture in my mind of the CEOs of the 10 big tobacco companies standing up before Congress in suits and ties saying, tobacco is not addictive. One by one. Jeez. More lies. You watch. On the 15th, the lies will be flying around like crazy. No, sugar's okay. You can eat that white sugar, the bugs won't eat. What's it like day by day? Here we go. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as it makes angles, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, to these other characters, these bodies, these planets, which are really just people, it brings out the mood of the times. And if you're watching the Thursday night show on May 8th, well, you got a pretty good mood. You're a trine to Pluto. There's discovery going on. You just learned, the MGM generation. Whoa, devils in disguise, those old people. And here, Chiron, there's a square. I can't get anything done. I don't like the helpers. Maybe all these people who say they're helpers. What? Maybe they're not really helpers. I don't feel sure about it. Thursday night, early Friday morning. And then it kind of changes about breakfast time. There's a nice sextile to Jupiter, and wisdom and teaching and starts off. And then there's a sextile a trine to the sun, and we feel like getting things done. And there's a sextile to Saturn. Good sense reigns all day Friday, May 9th. Get the job done. Good, there's a lot of wisdom. This grounded stuff, okay? It lasts until, it goes through Saturday morning. About breakfast time, though, the moon shifts into Libra. And when it goes into Libra, oh boy, everything starts to change. Your blood heats up. You're in the Mars zone. Starts pretty well. The communication is good. There's a nice trine to Mercury in the middle of Saturday. And then it all starts to go awry. Everything speeds up and heats up. And Mars is going to make trouble for everybody, including Juliet over here, and the sports figures. And lots of times this is when prisoners riot in jails, and young men, their testosterone levels have shot way up. Okay, so a lot of this stuff comes down on Sundays. Late Saturday night is when the moon goes by Pluto. It's 2 a.m. actually, Sunday morning. And that's when you're going to feel most of the Mars. Even though Mars stops, you're going to feel it when he stations around the 20th pretty strong. But here the moon's setting it off, and it'll be all over your world for a little bit. When you wake up Sunday morning, there's going to be sports. There's going to be, I hope it's all heroes. I hope you get up and you fix stuff. And get physical about the world. You ever see a fireman get off a fire engine and get pissed off? No. So you got to be like a good fireman here Sunday morning. Get out and do the work. There'll be obstacles. Electrical stuff won't work. You'll overdo it. There'll be problems with bugs from the square to Pluto. Goes on all the way through Sunday. It's a tough day, an angry day, a day when we hopefully aren't going to be fighting on this world. Instead, we might be fixing some things. The vibes continue a bit through Monday, and then in the afternoon, the moon shifts into Scorpio here, and vibes change totally. Here, Monday night, early Tuesday morning, really. This is 2 a.m. in the morning. Tuesday morning, the 13th, the moon's in Scorpio, trining Neptune. There's music, there's art. Read Jesus. When you says heavens, read sky. The Tuesday continues pretty nicely. There's a sextile to Pluto after lunch. Discoveries going on. There's a trine to Jupiter in the evening after dinner. As you go into the evening, there's a lot of wisdom popping up all over. But look out, don't go expanding out right away, because here's Saturn lying up ahead. Saturn's in Scorpio at 20 degrees going back to 19. Yeah, and that, you're going to hit that like a roadblock Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. What? You mean there's no time? There's no money? There's a law against this? What? What? So this is a difficult time. There's a full moon that it kind of exacerbates. It makes it a little worse. On Wednesday morning, the full moon at 25 Scorpio, going to give us all a little sobriety for the month following this full moon. So Wednesday's not a good time. Full moons are accident prone. Saturn is, they were all partying out. It was all so neat on Tuesday, and then bang, bad hangover Wednesday. So word to the wise, huh? Thursday, let's see, the moon goes into Sagittarius right here. And so when you wake up Thursday morning on the 15th, well, you're in Sag, and there's a square to Neptune, and there's confusion, and there's delusion, and you can't communicate. There's an opposition to Mercury, and there's lost kids, and everybody seems to be, they say right and they mean left. Maybe are they really lying? What did Sanjay Gupta mean when he said we have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in the United States? And I apologize for my own role in that, he said. About marijuana. Who lied to us? Why are the lies so sticky? Oh, you're just going to be some more confusion here on Thursday morning, but the questions are worth asking. It settles out after dinner. Here's Venus and Uranus, and there's some pleasure and some brotherhood here Thursday. After you're over the confusion and miscommunications of the morning, enjoy your evening. Moon's in Sag. Continues through Friday morning. There is a square to Chiron, so our helpers aren't helping very well early Friday morning. But the moon goes into Capricorn here about 10 o'clock Friday night, the 16th, and everything starts to change again. Gets more scary. We're nearing that part of the Grand Cross again. This is the Pluto side. Eek, a bug. Now it's not set off by a lunation now, so hopefully this won't be, a volcano sprouting all over the world. But you're going into it with music, and everything is fine. Here we've got a nice sextile to Neptune. Saturday morning. Everybody's had a drink or two. It all looks okay. And then the bus crashes and there's a huge fire and everybody dies. Eek! Here's Mars, difficulties. Here's Venus, difficulties with young people all the way through. Uranus, shakiness, all feeling alone. The Jupiter opposition. We overdid it. Too many people, too big a thing. Something expanded. The whole point is, it's a panicky Saturday, and goes into Sunday morning too. Not settling out until you get to noontime Sunday, when there's finally a sextile to Saturn, and we get real about it all. By the time you get to Sunday night late, and the moon's almost finished in Capricorn, there's a trine to the sun. And after all this stuff, you must have learned something, because you're willing to make a plan of some kind here late Sunday. So the Grand Cross is still here. It's moved on a little bit in degree, and Venus has joined the crowd. But the one to watch, Mars. Get pissed off? You get angry? You get impatient? Ask yourself what you're protecting, huh? That's the key to using this guy's power.